7 o'clock and I'm currently on the way to the gym. I'm going to walk the dog near the gym and then I'll do a gym session. This gym session is completely fasted, so I've literally had nothing but water and a black coffee. Intertwining strength conditioning is something that I do quite heavily, and as you'll probably notice for my viewers, it's something that I do prioritise a lot in my training. In the winter, I'm doing 4 to 5 strength conditioning sessions and actually not riding my bike much at all. Now that's very different to a conventional cyclist, and it's very different to what I prescribe most of my athletes. The benefit of that though is that I'm acclimatized to a lot of strength conditioning training, so when it comes to summer race season, it means that I can still get in good quality strength conditioning without absolutely ruining shut up without absolutely ruining my legs. So just parking up at the gym, I'm gonna walk the dog now, and then yeah, we'll start the gym session. Ah, what's that lovely van in the background? Pretty tidy. Go on, Duke, come here. So the question is, those 2 sessions a week that I'm currently doing in season, how do I fit those into my week? Well, one of those sessions is typically a standalone session. It has its own day of the week. The other session is legs, and that session is done typically as a double day. I'm doing a gym session in the next 15 minutes and I'm racing a crit tonight. Just had a quick look back on the videos that I'm recording just now, and I've noticed that I am scarily receding at a very, very worrying rate. I really enjoy going for a walk with the dog first thing in the morning when it's like this, because I feel so much better after a good bit of exposure to sunlight and a bit of fresh air. Ah, what a conveniently placed camera. Those who have watched my channel before, you will know what I'm going to have, because I have it a lot directly post-session. Big bowl of Rice Krispies. I'm going to have anywhere between 70 to 100 grams of that. And I'm going to mix up a protein shake, and I'm going to pour that protein shake over my Rice Krispies. A lot of you will be thinking, well, why Rice Krispies? You know, cereal isn't that healthy, but Rice Krispies is very easy to digest, and it gets through the system and does what it needs to do faster than something like porridge would. Guys, something really important has just happened. My daughter has had a poo. And you know why that's big news? Because that's her first poo in about 4 days, and she really needed it. Are you happy with yourself? Eh? Yay! Right. Well, I was meant to be getting some work done. Now then, so bit of a change of plan. I was going to be having lunch at home today. One of my clients wanted to meet for a coffee, and I'm just waiting for him now. While I was out,
I grabbed some lunch. So I ended up having some sushi, got a yellow sticker bargain on the sushi, and yeah, hit the spot in terms of what I was after. Sushi is absolutely fantastic, so sharing selection of sushi with a bit of salad, and yeah, hit the spot. I think it was like 550 calories in total, but really good source of carbohydrates. I'm just sat here with a coffee, gonna meet my client for an hour, and then I'll get on home after that. So now it's time for basically stop work, a little bit of downtime. Coffee, and with this coffee, I'm just about to make a white bagel with some sliced banana on there and a little bit of jam. The bagel itself is 40 grams of carbs, and then with the banana and a bit of jam, an extra 20 grams of carbs. And that'll just be enough to make sure that I'm not hungry going into the race, and also that my blood glycogen levels are kind of topped up, and kind of, yeah, fuel for the fire. Critical points to this are, you know, that last meal never wants to be kind of any less than, say, 2 hours before the event. And I found that for me, you know, about 2.5, 3 hours before the event is ideal. Other key points to that are that it needs to be easy to digest, so you wouldn't eat something like loads of fruit and vegetables on that meal, because it would have too much fibre and it'd slow the digestion rate down. And you wouldn't eat too much meat or anything like that as well. So just plain white bagel, bit of jam, sliced banana, spot on. We've had training session. Directly post-training, we've had a big dump of carbs with a bit of protein as well. And the reason that we take on as much carbs as we can post first training session is that certain glycogen singling pathways which are specifically enhanced post-exercise. So it makes sense to take as much of the carbohydrate content in the day and shunt it directly post-exercise to kind of make the most of this enhanced rate. Then we had our lunch, which isn't too critical, as long as it's got a little bit of carbohydrates in there. But I was kind of prioritizing protein a little bit more in that meal, because I knew I wasn't going to have as much protein throughout the entirety of the afternoon. What I find personally is that I try and stay away from too many carbs in the lunchtime meal, because if I have a big dump of carbs in the lunchtime meal, I always feel a bit sluggish in the afternoon. But that varies from person to person. So then obviously, yeah, so now I'm in that state where I just need a bit more carbs to bring that carbohydrate stores back up again, ready for the race. Directly pre-race, while I'm warming up, I'll also have a bottle of carbohydrate solution, and that'll be my last kind of bit of carbs, just to make sure my blood glucose levels are nice and high, and then we race. So getting in my race head on now, and then we go. Can you see her in the background? Millie! She absolutely loves the foil blanket. It entertains her for hours, so it's a great little tool. Little side tip, get these ones, which are soft and sliced bagels, and stick them in the freezer. Take one out, 1.5 out, whatever, put them back in the freezer. They never go off, and they taste just as good. And obviously you're going to toast them, so they'll defrost in the toaster.
Will be
that mindset where you're saying to yourself, I'm not happy unless I give it 100%. Well, you're halfway there then. Good morning. So, bit of a summary, a bit of an overview as to what I've been talking about and what's been going on. As you might have gathered, there's a local crit series on. The second round, I actually managed to win, which was last week. And I won, basically it came down to a sprint, and I won by a big kick. Now that week that I won, I employed a protocol of my lead up to the race and my day, exactly the same as what I did this week. And that week that I did win, I had fantastic legs. I felt mint. I felt really like it felt effortless. This week comes along and I mimic the exact same protocol. I had a full rest day the day before the race, and then the day of the race, as with the title of this video, I double dayed. So I did a strength and conditioning session in the morning and then I raced in the evening. And I even ate very similar to what I would previous week. What's remarkable is that I had completely different sensations in the legs this week. And actually my legs felt horrific this week. From a coach's standpoint though, I am asking questions to myself. I'm thinking, okay, well, yes, the day was the same. Yes, I went to the gym. Yes, I did very similar movement patterns, which you'll have seen, but what was different? The main thing that I would say was different is that I raced very hard the Sunday before. And although between Sunday and Thursday is plenty of time to rest and recover, I actually don't think I was fully recovered. I actually think I had still a bit of muscle soreness left over from the weekend's effort. And that weekend's effort, there was a lot of climbing in that race as well and a lot of muscle damage. So I actually just think I was carrying too much fatigue into the day. And then I did that morning gym session thinking, you know, oh, I'll do the same thing as last week. But that's all good and well if I'm fresh. Realistically, because I wasn't properly recovered from the weekend, a better approach would be to do like a standard pre-race ride the day before and then race on the Thursday. But yeah, we take with the rough with the smooth. We've learned from it. I haven't got any weekend races for a while now, so yeah, we can try that same approach with the lifting in the morning and the racing on the night, but better rested before it.
So the main three things to take away from today's video, three things that you need to consider mostly when it comes to doing double days. Firstly, try and make sure that the sessions are as contrasting as you can possibly make them. So for example, you wouldn't do a VO2 max session in the morning and then a VO2 max session later in the day, but you might do a sprint based session or VO2 max session in the morning and then an endurance ride in the afternoon, or like my example, lifting in the morning and then a ride later in the day. Second thing to consider is to separate those sessions appropriately. So try and get one session done early morning and then after a good feed and rest, do the second session later in the day. We're not a triathlete or a duathlete. Thirdly, prioritize getting in fast digesting carbs and protein after that first session. Thank you very much for watching the video. I'm out on a ride at the minute over near Wetherby. I'm going to go and test a client over at Ennerdale. Freaking flies. And I thought I'd break the journey up with a bit of a ride halfway up. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel, and see you again next time.